Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fun episode of Career Chats with Aaron. I'm your host, Aaron Williams, and today I am with
Michelle Addona, Navigator 8.
Steve Gray, Director of Workforce Programs.
Shakirah, Career Navigator.
It's nice to meet all three of you.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
So now, as usual, let's start with a fun icebreaker. And the icebreaker for today is, if you can eat one meal forever, would it be breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
It's breakfast.
Absolutely breakfast.
Dinner. I love starch.
I love
Chicken,
bacon.
right.
So
I love eggs.
yeah.
Eggs are like $100 a carton now. So.
Hey, all right. So, how long have you all worked together as a team?
I'll say probably I'll go 9 months to a year, somewhere around there, for us to working together. Yeah.
All of us together as a team, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
fast.
crazy.
But we've gelled.
Yes.
That's good. 9 months. I mean, hey, time goes by fast, and that,
It really does.
especially with relationship development. And what's your favorite part about working together as a team?
I think just that, working together as a team, like we really do rely on each other. In this kind of an industry, things change so often, and whenever these new challenges present themselves, I feel like we all work very well together to try to overcome these challenges and continue to move forward.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Yep,
Michelle.
very
that
good. We understand what needs to be done, and sometimes if I'm not doing it or I'm coming over to ask it, it's already being done before I get over there to ask it. So that's what makes a good team. Sometimes, good teammates understand what you're thinking already, what you're doing, and what you need and what you want. So I think that's why we work together. I think our personalities kind of go together. We're 100% different, but we do gel together as well.
Very well.
So it's you don't want to all be the same. You gotta have some. You gotta have something.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's good because that's what makes the friendship go really well together. And when you work together as a team, it doesn't matter how different you are, like you said, but as long as you can communicate with each other and, have fun with each other as well,
Yeah.
We sure do.
then there you go. That's the power of teamwork.
And I also said, it's a marriage. Things aren't always going to be perfect or great or easy all the time. But when they're tough, are we going to be able to stick it through, work together, troubleshoot things together? And I think that's what makes a great team as well. Just acknowledging that there's going to be bumps in the road, but as long as we are committed to getting over them together, we'll be good.
Yes, I love that. And as I usually say in all my podcasts, you better write this down, people. You better write that down. Now, speaking of personality, describe your personality in a weather pattern.
And Steve is like Hurricane Katrina.
Wow. I wouldn't. I'm not quite sure why you say that. I think I'm like a high pressure center.
Yes.
He blows out all the bad stuff, and it comes in. There's clear skies and nice light breezes and sunny out.
Absolutely.
But
Yes.
Aaron, it all depends on what day it is. It truly does. Because listen, it's work, and some things just don't go the way you want them to go. But at the end of the day, we figure it out, and I maybe, as Shakirah says, I come in like a hurricane, but at the end of the day, it's not like that.
No.
So and I would, and I think we all have those tendencies.
Yeah.
I think everybody does at work that, you can describe, most people can use a lot of weather terms to describe themselves throughout the day because
Definitely.
things change throughout the day.
Constantly.
We're not in one of those jobs where things don't change, where it's just that same thing day in and day out. Our day, we're dealing with a lot of individuals coming through the door who have a lot of different issues and what they need. So it all depends, and sometimes they're happy and sometimes they're not. So
Yeah.
it all depends. So, but I think for the most part, we can probably use every weather term under the sun.
Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely.
That's speaking for me, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
It
yeah,
goes
so.
back to the
Every
team
season,
thing
yeah.
too, because when there are those days where one of us is not in such a good place with the job or with, commands coming down from up top, again, that's a time that we lean on each other and try to turn our stormy weather into sunshine, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so how about like a nice little rainbow right there?
Yeah.
I like the rainbow.
Rainbow after the
Yeah.
storm. Absolutely.
There you go. And the last thing we want is a stormy weather to happen.
Yeah.
Very true. Me, I'm always sunny. Slight chance of
Yes.
clouds every once in a while, but typically always sunny.
There you go.
With a chance of meatballs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love some meatballs. So. Now, if you could switch jobs with anyone else in the organization for a day, who would it be and why?
That's a tough one.
I love doing exactly what I do.
Yeah, I feel very comfortable in the
Yeah.
position that I'm in. It challenges me enough to, want to stay in that position, and I continue to learn and grow. I'm completely content with where I'm at.
And Steve does a good job at allowing us to be creative and think of new ideas, new ways to do things. So I've never honestly thought of doing anything else other than what I'm doing right now.
No, I agree. I mean, again, it comes back to teamwork, and we work great as a team. And, we can sit here and say we would like to do something else or someone else's job, but, I always say, the grass looks greener on the other side all the time, but when you get over there, it turns brown real fast.
Mhm.
That's, so, I like what I do. I'm not sure if I could answer that question honestly or who I would want to be in our organization. I kind of like where I am in our organization, and so I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's understandable. If you love what you do, then you stay where you are. Now, here's another funny one about it. Funny teamwork question. Who is the funniest of this team?
I feel like Shakirah. She keeps me laughing, man.
Yeah, I would say Shakirah. I would say it's probably a better question for Michelle or Shakirah because they do work more closely together than I work with them. But I would definitely lean towards Shakirah as well.
But then when we're all together, we kind of vibe off of
Yeah,
each other.
Yeah,
So,
we all have our moments, but
Mhm.
I think if we had to pick one, we're picking the Shakirah.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you do, Shakirah?
I think sometimes, most of the time, that's a compliment. But at times when Steve is like really focused on the project, and then I'm like cracking jokes, like, "Oh no, well, how about we do this?" I think sometimes it relieves pressure from him, so you just have to know when to provide a good joke versus that was not the time. We got
Yeah.
some things to to focus on. So I think we have a good balance of that.
Okay. Now, what are some of the biggest challenges clients face when trying to enter training or employment, and how do you help them navigate those obstacles?
Well, as I mentioned before, transportation is the biggest problem that we have here with our participants who come to the door looking for training. They can't get outside of the Waterbury area lot because transportation isn't all that good. So we have that as well. So we can place people in training, but when we have to get them the jobs outside of the area, we run into problems with transportation. And we do have ways to help them with Uber, as well as there are programs that can help them with, maybe fixing their cars if they need to get their license or whatever it may be. That is a barrier for them for getting their license or transportation. But transportation is the number one issue that I've always found over the years that I've been doing this. There are other issues, but that seems to be the number one issue.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You all agree?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
That's probably the biggest challenge that the customers face.
All right. Well, hopefully the transportation improves as time goes on. So
We do what we can for them to try to, like Steve said, knock down that barrier for them. So
that's good. That's good. I love that. And now, has there been a moment in your job where something you've done is like so good that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Like you're like, I can't believe I did that. Man, you're so proud of yourself. Like, has there been any moment that you've done something really, really good that you'll remember forever?
I feel like every time we change someone's life, people come through our program for that reason, to better themselves, better the workforce. And every single time you come across a customer who is actually like so grateful for you and so thankful for the opportunities that you've given them, I feel like every single time that is such a great moment that I mean, I have my few customers that like really, really stuck with me, but I feel proud every day when we change somebody's life.
That's true. I mean, listen, people are coming through the door over there for a reason. Either they've lost their job, or for whatever reason they've been out of job for a while. They've been out of the workforce. Maybe they had children or whatever it may be, but they're coming through that door looking for a training to change their lives for the better. And that's what we're here for. So to sit there and pinpoint, I probably, there's many of people that we can talk about that we have helped over the years in helping people get into trainings and place them in employment. So to pinpoint one person would be tough. I do remember a person that I placed many, many years ago. Can't remember his name. I'm sorry about that. But I know that, I checked, it was probably about 7-8 years ago, and that individual was still working at the place. So I would think that would be a life-changing thing for that person. They found a job, and it's a secure job, and evidently it's helping him pay his bills and help out his family because he's still there. Mm-hmm. So
I love a challenge. So when folks say, oh my gosh, you can't do that, that's impossible, that's my drive to do it. So I would say me and Michelle probably have the largest caseload in the building. And we don't have folks complaining, we're not losing people, we're not forgetting folks. So that's a hard task to keep up with daily. So just knowing that we are present in our customers' lives, they can get a hold of us, and we still manage to take care of all of the other daily tasks. I think I'm extremely proud of Michelle with that. We're able to do that, without a lot of hiccups, bumps, just kind of doing it. It looks effortlessly.
It does.
But there's a lot of work behind it.
Thank you.
It's not just about yourself as well. It's also about, that person that you help as well.
Yeah,
that's what you do.
And Steve being our leader, I always want him to be proud of the team, that we're representing him well. I like him to walk around and, yep, I got the best team. Mm-hmm. And he can really say that, that's important to me. It's just not bringing shame to my family, my children, my friends, always making them look like they're doing really well, making them proud of me. And I know I'm an adult, but I know Michelle, we want for Steve to be proud of us and the work that we do. So that's why we work so hard to make sure that we're meeting that goal.
For that nice little pat on the back.
Yeah, good job.
It's totally worth it.
Like, for real, yeah.
And you do an awesome job. So we'll, it makes my job easier. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
They make my job easier.
Hey, since you're the leader, Steve, what can you say that makes someone an effective leader for a team?
That's a good question.
Well, you need to listen to your team. You need to, you don't need to micromanage. You need to let the team do what they need to do. When they need the support, hopefully they ask and you support them where it's needed. But Michelle and Shakirah, they know what their job is. They know what they need to do, and they do it. If they have questions or if they need some support, I'm there to help them through that. But a good leader listens to their team and lets them do their job the way it needs to be done. And I'll just leave it at that. I mean, I listen to my team, what they need, help them out where it's needed, but I just let them go because they know what they're doing. I don't need to go over there and micromanage and tell them what to do. They know what they're doing. Once you become a leader that micromanages, then work starts to not get. We'll leave it as fun. I mean, we all know it's work, but you also want to come here and enjoy coming to work. When when you have a micromanager, it is not. It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I have worked for micromanagers before, and it's not good. So
if you have to micromanage, you have the wrong team.
Yeah, because a real leader It's not about, telling people what to do and doing this and that, trying to be all tough. To quote my favorite voice actor, Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime, a real leader is strong enough to be gentle and compassionate to others.
Absolutely.
So,
And Steve doesn't just see us as the navigator aid, the career navigator. He knows Shakirah. He is concerned about me, not just the work that I'm doing, but me as a whole person. That matters. Like Michelle said, it makes it easier to come into work knowing that you are valued and appreciated.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because we're all human beings. We're not just mindless robots that can just automatically do the work. We have feelings, we have emotions, we have our strengths and weaknesses. So, and we want to be treated as human beings. So, if a leader just barks out orders, then that's like, there's no humanity to that. What's one important thing about teamwork that you can say to our audience?
Communicate. Absolute communication.
I agree, Michelle. You need to be able to communicate with each other and understand what's going on. But communication is the key. If you don't communicate, then number one, you can't help anyone else if you don't communicate right. So it comes down to communication.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Lean on each other. If you have questions, just ask. Don't think you're going to sound stupid. I ask stupid questions constantly, but I always ask my questions because I'm never going to learn how to continue my process or how to become a better person without asking these questions that to me are silly. But Shakirah will look at me and be like, no, that's a really good question. Definitely always communicate.
And give it all you got. Like, if you are committed to a team, don't shortchange them. Give them 100% of you every day, because when you don't have 100%, they're going to give you that balance, because we just are trying to support each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like you said, if you don't give 100%, that's not a good impression on yourself. And
write that down.
Yes.
Right?
Write that down. Now, what's your favorite success story? I'm pretty sure it's going to go back to what I've said about a moment that you feel really proud of. But what's your favorite success story about someone you've helped? It's probably similar to that, but
I have this one gentleman who came in here. He was just very open about his situation. The day of orientation, he came in, explained to me his whole story. He had a lot of stuff that had happened when he was younger. His wife left him because of it. His children wouldn't speak to him. And it ended up being a situation that wasn't held true. And unfortunately, he lost a lot because of it. So he came to us and he told me his story. And there was something about him that I connected with him. And to come through the program, there are certain steps that have to be taken. And typically, they have to be done on a timeline. I kind of went a little outside of the timeline and just tried to get all his scheduling done as quick as I could. And within a week, we had him enrolled in school. The next week he started. And I think about a month or 2 months ago, he graduated from the school, and the school actually offered him a job. And so now he secured his employment. He's in process of getting his life back together, in process of rebuilding communication with his children, because now he feels comfortable enough to go and approach the situation now that he's a working man and is getting his life back together. So that's definitely my guy. I'm always going to remember him.
really nice. That's a good story.
Thank you.
And I would definitely share Michelle's story, being able to, like me and Michelle working together, being able to watch her feel confident enough to make those decisions and not treat people as there was a lot of gray. You want to meet people where they are. And it was amazing to watch Michelle hear his story and follow the process, but still support him as an individual. And to see him succeed is to see her succeed as well. So it was me watching them like, wow, this is what this program is really about. It's not just about our customers, but it's about us as well. Michelle feels like she's being rewarded. She loves her job. She enjoys doing it, and that reinforces it. So not only do we have a satisfied customer, but we have a happy staff. And I think that's the best formula. That was deep. Oh
Yeah, it was. Thank you.
There
That's
you go.
me, Michelle. Don't be
Yes.
You should be a speaker.
I know.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. She is a speaker. Yes. Yeah, I could just go back to the same story I told, not that long ago,
Yeah.
that gentleman. So, but yeah, I mean, there's so many people that their lives that we touch that come through that door. And some ways we probably don't know how we help them out. We because some people come in there to get the training and they'll leave, and we may not see them, or they may get their job on their own, or sometimes they just don't get back to us. But I'm sure, and they've got the training, and we probably touched more lives than we even think and helped. So, and again, that's what we do. That's what we're here to do. But sometimes we probably don't even realize how many lives we really, really even changed.
Yeah. It's really good that you have the capacity to help people develop and help them out for their future, and they become a much better person. Both when it comes to skill and personality. So that's really, really, really good. I love your teamwork. The chemistry, just beautiful. It's a beautiful chemistry, and that's what you want in that's what you want in teamwork, is that chemistry. So, can you give a little history on when all three of you, the first time you all worked together as a team?
I know that when I came in for my interview and I sat down with the both of them, I instantly was like, oh, this is the place for me. I was a little skeptical about coming in, I've never been in this kind of business. I wasn't sure. And I walked out of here like, oh, I'm going to love working here. And within the first couple days, they really both just put so much faith in me and in my ability of what I could bring to the team. I feel like we've just been a team from day one.
From the start, right?
Yeah, right from the start. Because again, Steve just kind of was like, okay, these are the tasks at hand. This is what we have to do. And they both just let me run with it. If I had any questions,
Right.
I obviously asked about it. But Steve and Shakirah both put full faith in me that I was going to be successful and that I knew what I was going to be doing. And here we are 9 months later and I'm still here. So got to be doing something right.
Yeah. You're doing a lot of things
Yep.
right.
Doing a lot of things right. Yep. I mean, it is exactly, when we interviewed Michelle, sometimes you can tell the right person, if it's going to be a fit or not. And you could tell she was going to be a good fit. And I can't agree anymore that we just give Michelle stuff and she just does it. And there's no problems with it. That's the best thing about it, is that, and she's a fast learner, and she takes initiative. And that's a great thing about, and Shakirah's the same way. I'm not, they're
definitely.
both work the same way. I think that's why they work good together. So I mean, again, I couldn't ask for two better people to work with me. I will never say they work for me; they work with me. I like to use that point because, like I said, it's very easy to manage somebody when I just give them. They know what they need to do. I don't even have to tell them what they need to do. They know what they need to do, and they just do it. That's the best thing about it.
Goes back to great leadership, though.
There you go.
I would say with Michelle, that we definitely knew that day. But with Steve, we've been working with each other through different programs and not really getting to know him, just a lot of good morning kind of, but to work closely with him now, I'm just like, wow, Steve talks? He has such a great personality, because I think when you don't know someone, you can just see them on a surface level and say, oh, they must be serious, or, they don't really laugh a lot. But it taught me to not judge a book by its cover, because working with him, I was able to learn his personality and just be like, wow, lesson learned. At my age, you would really think that you know how to approach folks and you know how to function in a work environment, but it really taught me that you just can't judge a book by its cover.
I'm actually a good guy, right?
Yeah.
Great guy.
That's exactly what I'm learning right now in the communications class in college about not judging a book by its cover, because you don't know who that person is until you get to know the person.
Yeah.
So.
And hell, what's the matter with the cover?
It's great to know the cover, but I would prefer the chapters.
Wait till we're off the
I would
camera.
prefer chapters. I prefer chapters.
If you get a book that says The River, you're gonna be like, The River, that's it.
What about
But then
the
when you turn the page and you read it, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, that concludes another fun podcast of Career Chats with Aaron. Steve, Michelle, Shakirah, thank you all for being here. Again, I love that teamwork.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Thank
always.
Oh, one more thing.
It's up.
Did you write this down?
That was
I'm
good.
looking at you people there. Write that down. Exactly. Write it down. But hope you all have a wonderful day. Remember, work hard. And if Optimus were here, he would say this: hold on to your dreams. The future is built on dreams. Hang on. I'll see y'all later.